In a video, one or two videos ago, I was talking about this Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. I was using it as a foundation. Well, not really a foundation, but I was using it as my main base or tint. This is a Hydro Fresh tint, also an essence. It's very light and it has a lot of skincare in it. So what I've been doing is I've actually been enhancing my foundation with a little bit of this because my skin has been so dry that I've been trying not to use a lot of foundation because it doesn't look good, especially on my almost 60-year-old skin. Less is more. So this has just been a nice base. This is probably a product I'm gonna get through quickly. I usually don't use a whole bottle or pan of foundation, so this will be the exception, but I really like this. This is in the shade Light Medium. I didn't have many choices when I picked this up. There were only 4 shades. This is maybe a little bit too light for me, but as a base, it's okay. It's very hard when you're buying drugstore to get a good shade, which when I show you what I'm gonna do next, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, but you probably already know. It's very hard sometimes to pick up a shade when you can't test it. Anyway, so I just use, about a pump of this, and I like to use it. It gives me a little added moisturization, and of course the skincare ingredients are nice, even though I do not use it for the skincare. It's just a boost. I use my own skincare. I'm looking kind of Casper-y right now, but that's okay, I'm gonna fix it. But it's just nice, it feels good. I like the way it looks throughout the day. If I will use it just by itself. So I've been using this pretty much every time I have applied makeup, whether it's alone or under makeup, and I like this. I think this was a good buy. I only paid like $12 for this though, because I had a massive coupon. I don't know that I would spend $21 on it, but I definitely do like it. So in previous videos, I've talked about the Maybelline Superstay 16-hour powder foundation, which I tested when I was visiting my sister this past Christmas, and I was shocked at how a powder foundation on my mature dry skin worked so well. I had to get one of my own. I was using my sister's, and the shade was, I believe it was, light ivory, or it was it was too light for my skin tone. So I went to the drugstore to look for that particular item, and apparently the 16-hour is discontinued in the store. I couldn't find any. They now have it in the 24-hour formula. This is a neutral shade because I have a neutral skin tone, so this was the closest I could find to my shade just by visual. But it's neutral, so if I can make sure that it's a neutral shade, that's more than half the battle. Unfortunately, this shade 120 is too light. The good news is I love the way it performs, and I'm really happy with that. And the other good news is you can always warm it up with bronzer. I was debating whether I was going to warm up my face with any, if I was gonna fix those dark circles or if I was gonna do any contour, but I think I'll just pass on that and just make a quick video out of this. So, all right, so I've got, my face is pretty well settled with this essence. So I'm gonna pick up this Maybelline Superstay up to 24 hours. I have not tested it for 24 hours. I haven't even tested it for even close to 24 hours, but I do like this, and let's go for it. Not a new product, but in conjunction with the essence, I like the way it works. So let's try it. I'm gonna use this flat foundation brush from BS Mall. I like the way it picks up the foundation. So like I said, I'm not going for any concealer. I'm just not gonna bother with that right now. And you'll probably notice immediately that this is way too light, which is a bummer. But at least I can get a base going. And it's very forgiving. I have been in a non-Florida winter climate for a couple months now, and my skin is pasty, and I can tell I really miss that sunshine. I can tell in the way my nails, my fingernails are not as strong as they were when I was in Florida. Boy, I really love that Florida sunshine, let me tell you. And you know, sometimes a little sun-kissed from the natural sun is not a terrible thing, as long as it's not too much. Life is short, you know what I mean? So I miss the sunshine, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna fix this now. So it goes on really well. It covers really well. I'm a fan. I just wish it weren't so light, but we're gonna fix that. I am gonna go ahead and just use a little bit of my NYX Wonder Stick. This is a dual end face shaper. On one side it has a highlighter, which I never use unless I use it for eyeshadow. And here is the contour side. I'm just gonna use a little bit to sort of break up that paste going on there, just a little. The nice thing about this powder foundation is you can actually use cream products over the top of it. It's amazing. Let me do a little bit of contour here. So, because I've tried this before, the powder and the cream don't seem to get in conflict with each other. I'm gonna use this Pharmacy oval brush. It has a very nice compact, very dense and soft, and it's really nice to blend cream products. Especially, I love using it for my contour. It works really well. I also like the fact that this powder foundation with the cream on top, as much pressure as I'm applying right now, this is a really good brush, but it's not disturbing the base, which is also really nice. The less I have to touch my face or touch, especially under my eyes, the better. I'm gonna use my Loreal Baked Bronze and Brighten. This is a shade medium. And I'm gonna go in with this nice fluffy powder brush from BS Mall. And I'm gonna be a little bit generous with it because, first of all, this is a good bronzer for mature skin, okay? It's good if you've got mature skin. It's not gonna sit in everything and make it worse. But also because this foundation is too light, so I'm just gonna warm it up as much as I can without going overboard. But bronzer is, oh, if you can't have a palm tree in a tropical setting with that lovely sunshine, grab a good bronzer. It'll fix you right up. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Warmth, warmth, warmth. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. Okay. My BFF, she has a Poshmark. It is a online consignment store. She's had one for several years. She does really well. And once in a while, she will stumble across some cosmetic products. And I went to visit her a few days ago, and she gave me access. And I walked away with a high-end blush. This is Cover Effect. This is a dual blush. It's got a matte finish and a shimmer finish. And this is the shade Spiced Cinnamon. It's very pigmented and finely milled. and I really like it. So I'm gonna use this new product, new to me product. I'm gonna use this angled face brush here from BS Mall, and gonna grab this. Now, like I said, this is quite pigmented, and it doesn't have a lot of dust up. So when I put this on my face, it's gonna be a little bit shocking. So I'm gonna try to be careful with it, but it's a very, very nice blush. I don't believe I have any Cover FX products at all. I don't think I've ever actually owned any. So this is my first time using their brand, and I'm so impressed with this blush that I'm considering, you know, the next time I decide I'm going to invest in some kind of, you know, higher end product, I'll be testing these out, because this blush is absolutely gorge. I mean, it's pigmented, it's finely milled, it just goes on the face really nicely. So I'm super impressed with this. I am going to try the, oh, I'm always scared to do this. So this is the shimmer side of it. It's very subtle. It's a blush, so, and not a highlighter, but what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna go up here and just see what happens if I add a little to the top of my cheekbones. This is the first time I've done this, actually. I literally have not tested this yet. So let's just go in and just see what happens. Let's see if it gives it some glow. So I just put a little bit on my finger because I was being conservative in case it blew up my face with too much shine, which I don't like. So I'm gonna go in with the brush. Let's be gutsy and daring, shall we? All right, let's see what happens. Woo-hoo. It's just makeup, it's just makeup. All right, so here's the thing, but this shimmer blush has pigment, and it's not overly, you know, what's that word? It's not behaving like a highlighter. That was the thing that I was concerned about. It's not doing it. It's adding more pigment, definitely. I can't believe that. That is fantastic. This thing, that is just, that's a very pigmented, you know, shimmery, but not overly shimmery blush. It's, okay, this gets a gold star for sure. I like it. Now I've got to tone it down a little bit because I've got too much. But that was literally my first time ever actually using that. So, and I like to put blush everywhere, especially when I've got a pale thing going on there. So, because I'm not super skilled with makeup application, I'm just learning as I go and just experimenting. The placement probably could be better, but the payout is excellent. The way it's sitting, the way it's just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm really, really liking that. Thank you, Leslie. So yeah, this is gorge. This is the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo Matte and Shimmer. Again, in the shade Spice Cinnamon. Absolutely beautiful. Love it. And there's a lot. You will get a lot of use out of this. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, so I can see I've just got a little bit, I'm gonna tone this down up here. Just got a little bit too much there in the temple. Just tone it down just a little bit with this. This is a Pharmacy powder brush. It's a clean brush, so I'm just gonna continue just to clean that up a little bit so it doesn't look too, I don't want to have a bunch of sharp lines looking unnatural. No, no, no. All right, I kind of wish I'd used a little bit of concealer, but I picked up a lipstick. This is L'Oreal's ColorRiche formula. This is the shade 799. This is the shade Caramel Latte. And I really like Shimmer. I really do, a little bit. And so I picked this up thinking it would be a nice topper to a color that maybe didn't match my skin tone well, or just to make it just look a little extra shimmer, right? It's actually, it looks like nothing on my lips. It barely makes a dent. It's probably a little too sheer, but I'm going to pick up my NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Marshmallow. I love it. I've said that at least, probably going on 1,000 times now at least, but I love this NYX Butter Gloss. It's absolutely beautiful. It feels so good on the lips. It's just gorgeous. Now, this color is not a great match for the rest of my face, so maybe this will tone it down a little bit and cause it to blend in a little bit better with the neighbors there. So, let's see. Actually, it does. Very, very subtle. There's hardly any pigment to this thing. It serves a purpose today. This is probably the best result I've had with this on anything I've used so far. So today, this was a reliable fix. It was a reliable fix for a shade that didn't quite blend in well with the rest of the color. The color story on my face. Okay, so there we go. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying the last month of winter and looking forward to the spring like I am. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time.